Today, we want to draw a safe space inside us. We will be using a triple spiral to integrate our own inner strength, our own sensitivity, and to allow the unknown to unfold. So, be curious and let's start drawing. So I am a fan of using colored lines, and I intend to use some blue for my today's drawing. So if you want to try that, you're welcome to do that as well. The first thing we do is we activate our topic by writing down our associations in 2 minutes. So our topic is safe space in me. Safe space. So you can also call it safety if you want. I call it safe space in me. So safety. Now we write down whatever comes to our mind, and we don't judge it, we don't pick what comes, we just write down and see what comes up. Okay. So I discovered, check what you discovered and what is your present relationship to the safe space in you. I discovered very interesting and nice things, and also related to sensitivity and strength and to my own freedom. And I guess that's because I have worked on that in the morning. Like when I was doing my morning writing, I had a lot of insights, and I want to just show you what happened there. So I have a lot of interesting things that have come up while writing down what's in me in the morning, and I can really recommend um, doing that before you pick a topic as well, because the topic you pick is really, really essential for your like drawing process. So here I have obviously my own topics and share them with you. So one thing I discovered is that I need to feel safe to dare to integrate my sensitivity into my life. And this integration of my sensitivity is what I am working on at the moment. And today, the first thing I want to do is I place a big square on my paper, which is also in square form, which is my container for my sensitivity today. Yeah, it almost fits the camera. And I want to have that very, very visible. I am safe. I put that right at the beginning. And I invite you to also do that. If that square resonates with you, you want to put a circle, a big circle for like representing your safety. That's also an option. For me, it needs to be that square today. And it needs to be visible. This visible that I am safe. Like we can determine with the shapes something which we want to make visible to ourselves. So that's what I do today. I determine this shape to be what I want to direct my subconscious attention to, and also my conscious, but we operate from our subconscious mostly. So it's nice to give it some very clear impression. I am safe. And for me, that is directly connected to the illusion, to the fear of potentially being like in danger of losing my freedom. So, this is my container for today's drawing. And now we'll have 3 more containers in which we will fit our spiral later on. So we'll have 3 circles, and please use the same color. 3 circles that are like next to each other and not really overlapping. So, interesting enough, they are some a little bit in the side of my square. I'll just observe that now. So I want to define one of my circles. I take that one as my inner strength. Then I'll take that one for my sensitivity, and this for the yet unknown outcome, like whatever it evolves from there. So now I'll focus on my strengths, because this is always what I want to like develop and what I know. And now I'll give my own strength a shape, which I place in there. So my own inner strength is a square as well. It feels like stable, and also like I get the image of a rock. Something stable, something heavy, something strong. So now you find a shape for your inner strength. And if your shape is like a little bit irregular, because you might have some kind of difficulties accepting your strength if you don't feel it. And if it's something like that, you can also put it. And we will harmonize the edges. So my strength feels quite accessible. So I have this square and I'm rounding and integrating my square into that strong space. And that's what you do now. You will be doing the rounding. If you have a space like that, carefully. And you can also draw extra lines and connect them to your outside circle, which is already there somewhere. So you can work on the integration of that shape now and make peace with your inner turbulence as well. If you have turbulences here, I will have that here in my sensitivity. And I want to also activate my strength by drawing lines inside my square. The lines always allow us to connect closer, and as you know, we draw organically flowing lines in Neurographica at all times. That's why we also like activate our shapes outlines with these lines. Just makes it more visible to our own system. So I also activate the circle with the lines. I realize that my paper is really sucking in this blue color, so it will be really strong imprint in all regards. So I integrated this strength now that well that I feel a little bit uncontent because I cannot see it so much and I like to see my strengths. But that's the fun of this drawing today, to create one single system with my strengths and also with my sensitivity. So, and with you, if you have created some maybe pokey shapes and you have rounded them, most probably the pokey impression is also integrated. So please work on the integration of the pokey shape until it is kind of dissolved, this impression. Yes, now moving on to this sensitivity, I strongly feel the urge to make it light pink and something like that. And maybe I start with that. But I want it to be visible in blue as well later on. But now I'll try what happens. I'll pick exactly this color now. First, I want to integrate this circles. So I felt like creating the connections between the circles already, and I have one like connection to this safe space here. Interesting enough, my safe space is really very close connected to my strength here. So now we'll do the same thing. We'll find a shape for our own sensitivity, and it can be a circle, a square. It can be something pokey if it feels like unsafe a little bit. For me, it feels much better, but it's still, I want to put some kind of this shape. Take the chance to befriend more with my sensitivity. So, and I'm working now on rounding. Please do that. Please observe your thoughts. Observe your feelings that come up and also how your body reacts. Like I feel a lot of tension in my shoulders just suddenly now, because this integration of sensitivity feels unfamiliar and also unsafe. That's how I came to this topic of safety. I already investigated this topic a little bit for me. Like, what is in there? Why am I not showing my sensitivity, not even to myself? And it is really connected to a feeling of not being safe. So that's why I want to explore that, because obviously, if I am not integrating this part in my own life, like it's missing, like one part of yin and yang is missing. This will be another drawing I plan to do, and I might also draw that with you together, like making our sensitivity and our strength visible in like the same amount, the same part, like the same weight, with this connecting to this yin and yang symbol. Yeah, how does that feel now? My shoulders are still quite tense. All head is a little bit foggy and in disbelief. Can that be visible here? How can that be so tender? Is that safe? That's actually what I feel. And I also feel like having some lines flowing out of that here now. And I'll just follow my own advice of like letting some of my sensitivity flow outside. Whew, it cannot even stay there, and it even comes outside my own safe space, as I realize here. So it also feels as if some kind of engine has like appeared in here already. So you can connect outside now if you also feel like that, but we also will connect to the outside later. Some reason I have this impression that a lot of energy has already been collected in here and it is urgently expanding here. Interesting. So I accept now that I chose this light color here and I'll just leave it like that. Whew. Yeah, what to do with the unknown now? I will expand my lines into the unknown from here. Feel how it feels. Yeah, it feels like a tingling in my body. And this is now the sensitivity expanding into the unknown. You can do the same and draw lines in there. You can also put a shape if you have an idea for a shape for the unknown. I want to think about that. What could be a shape, an appropriate shape for the unknown? Yeah, it would be pokey, I guess. Maybe I want to put some pokey shape for the unknown and also befriend with that. I feel like even using another color for the unknown. Just go with what comes up inside. So this strange relationship to the unknown. Oh, look at that. Obviously feels very, very like unknown here. And everything what our mind doesn't know yet is like danger. Like, see all these pokey, very pokey spikes here reflect danger. That's why we usually avoid the unknown, because our mind gives us this feedback that it is dangerous to do something new, to even think something new. So I'm happy I created that shape because now I can integrate it nicely and work on rounding and integration and also allow new lines to appear. So the idea is to befriend with this pokey impression in us, let it like go from there. It is there. I could draw it. It is visible. As soon as I drew it, it came out of my inner core. out of the darkness, and I can do something with it, work with it, speak about it, round it, integrate it into my system. Interesting enough, we have these three colors here now. You can do all of that with one color if you want. We will be integrating the colors in one system, into one system as well. So, and I fear now these pokey things make me like perceive some part of my body which is always kind of, which obviously stored some old memories of unsafety, which is always kind of this area where my, oh, this is not even, is that the same area? Like some certain part of my body, I always thought it's the liver, but today it feels a little bit more like down. And I've perceived some pressure and something there, and I'm happy that I do, because I'm planning to release that here now. The fear of the unknown, the impression that the unknown might be dangerous. And the unknown in my case here is closely related to the living and showing my own sensitivity in addition to my strength. And that's kind of a new idea for me, because I was aware of I want to connect to my strengths, and I want to gain more strength and more independence, and I'm a very big fan of independence. And like not bearing in mind that independence is also integrating this part in myself, which I have been pushing away. Maybe it has been dangerous in the past for me, painful to show that part. So I just didn't, not even to myself anymore, which resulted. So while I'm drawing, all these ideas come up. So you hopefully come up with your own ideas. I just speak about what comes up for me. So which resulted in this feeling of disconnection, not being seen and being invisible, connected to like painful impressions. So that's what happens while we are drawing. We connect to our own inner wisdom, to our experiences. And if it's disturbing that you hear me talking, please switch off the video until, like, I mean, now we live recording, you cannot switch off, but you can, what you can do is like listen and like do it maybe again after drawing. Like the connection is the most important part, like the listening inside, the connection to your own inner wisdom. So it feels like some roots are growing here from there. And interesting enough, it doesn't even feel like these lines want to come from the strong part, because this is not the unknown. This is the this is the known already. I know how to connect to that. And the unknown is actually connecting to this. And I want to also have these colors flow organically into each other. So work on rounding and integrating the colors here. And now it feels like positively exciting. It feels like, yeah, something new is appearing and it's exciting and nice and welcome. Embracing the new. Like, for example, working with these different colors lines is also embracing something new. And I actually really like it. I've drawn many drawings with the black lines, which are also very useful because they give very clear feedback, very strong feedback, and then you use the colors in addition. It makes clear impressions. So here the lines and the colors are already two impressions. For some reason that is right for me at this moment. So, and I have this urge to really see this delicate pink color here. And I want to invite you now to apply the spirals. I'll show you on a separate paper. I can put maybe only this. So if we'll take one color and we have our circles, which will help us to create these spirals. So we start with one of our circles. I want to start with this strength, which is already known. Draw from inside a spiral and move into the new experience. In my case, the sensitivity. And then we'll allow it to flow into this unknown. And this is a powerful symbol which we will use now. And I will dare to use the color of the unknown now for me, the orange. And put it, I will start here in the familiar, in my strength, outwards, outwards, taking this energy into this sensitivity and combining it to one system. Ooh, that feels really good and empowering. I'll do it again before I go again. The same path with your pen. Walk and collect all this energy here. Outwards. And integrating the sensitive part. Feels very nice. I feel like my heart feels very happy to do that. Happy and relieved. Happiness and relief. I'll do it again. So this is a nice thing. We'll gain our own energy by walking the path again with the pen, moving here, moving in. I'm enjoying especially the colored impression here. And now I lead the energy from here, like from outside of this spiral, and I lead it to this no, which I have already made friends with. Lead it inside, and the inside of the spiral is as well like the connection to our own inner core, and which is obviously at the same time the connection to everything that is, to the source of all being, to universe, to the divine. It's always inside this spiral as well. And again, inside again. Embracing the unknown in a safe space which we ourselves create. Yeah, and now I feel like I want to spread these lines from the unknown connecting to the environment. Creating neural lines, new pathways, new impressions, new like roads to walk on. A beautiful map is evolving for my subconscious here. And now I want to also use my strengths, and I use some blue, which is not the same blue as I can realize. I want a darker blue, so I'll take the same dark blue pen for my strings, because obviously I also want that to spread and to integrate. So I also have blue lines. And this is how it goes. I was embracing the unknown also with the spiral, because my plan was to have the spiral in dark blue. But now I allow it to be the vessel. My familiar dark blue has like provided the outline, the vessels, the safe space to let something new evolve. And I add more lines where I feel they are needed. My paper is quite big today, so I have a lot of nice new impressions here, which I am now integrating. I work on the rounding of my connections, connecting my dark blue energy, my inner strength to my safety, which is my square. And I do this with all the lines and let them flow and enjoy this flow expansion from my inner system out. So now we can work some time on the connections, on the integrations, and feel inside. What is our body? How is our body reacting? Like if I ask my shoulders, they are still a little bit tense. The pressure which I perceived in my under my liver is seems to have dissolved at this moment. Now I wonder how to integrate all the colors. I'm sure they will be the appropriate way. So if you have more than one color, you will find a way to let them flow into each other smoothly by mixing the colors at the intersections, for example. Like here, I can have this like orange flow out of here and into the pinky, and can just flow to the next spot. So it will have a nice, beautiful system. And here I have lots of lines meeting, so I might want to add a circle here and see what's in there for me. I will do that right away. If you have spaces where many lines meet, usually there's some message to be decoded. So I want to hear the message. This space. So I start by seeing it. Maybe something's coming up. It says, yes, you can. That's what comes into my mind while I'm integrating here. Yes, you can. What a nice message. Yes, I can follow my unique path. Yes, I can drop my urge to control everything closely. And yes, I am still safe. Wow, what a powerful message. Yes, you can. Here, the intersections. It's interesting because the blue has obviously a strong effect, which I also want in my life, and I am not surprised that it is very visible here in the lines. Yes, you can. Yes, you can walk your own path and be safe. So play with your lines, play with your messages, listen to your messages that come up in your own drawing. Maybe you feel drawn to one of the circles, especially to the unknown or to your strengths. Maybe you befriend with your strength and you have the message of that's okay to be strong and show your strength. Because we all have our individual path and our obviously connect to those while drawing, to our own messages from inside. And that's the fascinating thing for me about drawing using Neurographica, because it really, really creates these connections to the wisdom which is already in me. And I give this beautiful message circle some color now as well. I am safe to do it my way. I need to write that down. Sometimes I forget. I am safe to do it my way. Don't need to ask for permission or to wait for validation. So I'm channeling my own messages. I did not need to ask for permission or to seek validation. Yes, beautiful. So I have the urge to make this very visible. It's interesting. This, the space was left here for all the lines to meet and to give me this message. So if you realize that in one spot there are lots of lines meeting, and ask for the message if you want to know it. So I'll work on integrating the lines and the circles more now. And I'm enjoying this flow, expansion of this new, the unknown. It's already very strong, although I haven't even connected everything inside, but the flow of energy is perceptible very beautifully here for me. This is safe. Do it my way. Nice, 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 nice. So, and I also want some of the orange lines flowing here. Something new is also appearing with my strength. Some new quality of strength. The power of sensitivity, maybe. Which is really unknown for me. I cannot even imagine what that could be. Power of sensitivity. I mean, I can imagine that something like that is existing, but like for me, how can that be? I have I realize and I perceive that it's an interesting new beginning to integrate this into my life. I'm quite happy that I managed to switch the cameras now, halfway through. This, my mind cannot like understand what this double mirror, this one mirrors and the other mirrors as well, and I don't know what it's doing, but now I found how it's working, and this is maybe the unknown. This is a sacred space where all these energies meet. I will fill it with my unknown color here. So expand it a little bit here and keep on working on integration. So this process takes as long as it takes. And even if we keep on working on it later, after our session has finished, that's also possible. Maybe you also need to have some rest in between and go for a walk or drink some nice tea, because your system also needs to integrate the new energies and the new information. So it can be very much very wise to also give yourself a break and integrate everything before you even finish it. Do it your way, your pace. That's why we can also learn to be kind to ourselves and to listen. What do we need? And when do we need a break, for example? I have this song in mind. I do it my way. Na, 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 na. Yes. And it's no new information for me, but it is a new information to allow myself to do it my way and not to ask for permission, not to compare to what is like maybe expected from whatever society. Doesn't matter because I make this and I live like the expectations if I believe in them. If I dedicate on living my own truth and connecting with it, so I create it my way. I define the rules of my own game of life. What truth do I follow? Outer truth, inner truth. I follow what I believe in. So if I believe in outer truth, then I follow that. So it's all about connections, pathways, flowing energy. So you decide where your energy flows, where you want it, how you want it. That's one of the beauties of these drawings as well. It's about our own creation, how we want it. We create our own maps for our consciousness. Always. But if we create them consciously, we can move in our own desired direction. If we even aware of that, we create our maps. That feels nice. These connections can just fill with colored. There's a lot of. I feel I cannot get enough seeing this light pinky here. And I do some integration by just making it visible. And do the rounding as well. And I feel even more and more and more warmth in me. So, how is it going for you? What did you discover in this? I discovered it here. This line is still needed, and here one more. More and more and more of my sensitivity is spreading into the field. So nice. So I will be working on all this integration a little bit later. But since time for our session is running out, I will focus now on this integration of my strength a little bit and add some more colors before we finish. So you can also find like the shape you want to focus on. Like for me, I think this will be this safe space which I created at the beginning. It will be the shape I want to be most visible, and then it's kind of what's going on inside this safe space, everything here. So I think I define that, and I will also have like the field lines which invite the universal love and wisdom into my drawing. Maybe we'll do those together as well. So I'll create a field line now, which is this blue. To check. Yeah, maybe I'll do this, that one. And it flows from one, like we invite universal love and wisdom and let it flow from one side of our drawing through the drawing and completely through the drawing. So these lines carry a lot of energy. And flow through the whole drawing. And one is not enough for me, but I feel that the blue is very beautiful here. And it's going. I let it flow where it wants to flow. It wants to flow here. And the drawing feels much more integrated even with these lines now. And it will be more integrated because I connect the lines as well. And also, we are also connecting and integrating, obviously, the lines. And here we have this. I have one here, which is also and all these intersections, all these points are potential new roads and pathways which we haven't gone before. Yeah, now I will also have one more somewhere. I don't know. I have a lot of blue lines. Yeah, I will flow here. It feels like the safety is flowing here as well. I am safe impression is growing with my lines. I feel it's even like a water, like how to say? It feels like fields which are flooded with different kind of water supplies. So we will do the integration of the field lines. I want to use that pen. And so the whole system the whole impression here has intensified and also changed direction a little bit more. So that feels very nice to integrate these lines. And I know I'll have more of the light pink color when using the coloring step. Filling lots of spaces in between. So now I feel that when I look at this drawing here, what I'm doing is I'm creating some structure which is holding like my tenderness and my sensitivity. And I really like that idea and impression. Being held. And all these topics are connected in its core to the divine, to everything that is. As these insides of the spirals symbolize and express. Not holding on to how everything has to be. Allowing the flow of life to decide, to stir the direction. This is now the holding space and the structure to grow in and to be safe in. What kind of messages? I'm curious. What kind of messages come up for you? Write in the comment. What is your system of spirals bringing up for you and your safety and your sensitivity? What have you explored? So if you want to explore together, then I invite you to become part of my inner freedom art community and draw life together, which I I plan to be the idea is to provide a weekly space in which you can have mark in your calendar for yourself, time for yourself, Time to connect to your essence. Time to connect with your wisdom, with everything that is, with other people. I have this weird impression that I have seen this drawing already before. I might have. Deep breath connect you to your body. Yeah, there will be lots of connections I will be working on with the colors as well. And I want to use some colors now before we stop recording. Some blue in here to make this spiral of my strength more visible. The engine of my strength and unfolding here. Unfolding from inside. Yeah, I want to stop drawing here for a while and thank you for drawing with me. It's a pleasure to share what is coming up with you and to give you the opportunity to also draw your own topics. So I will continue working on that, on the colors, and I encourage you to also continue with your own drawings until you feel satisfied with them. And yeah, you're warmly invited to check out my community space. As I mentioned just now, already we want to, or I am offering a weekly offer to draw life together for you to like connect to yourself and have a weekly appointment with yourself. So check out the link, keep on drawing, and you can post your drawings in the community space on YouTube or in the community space of our community if you're part of our community already. Yeah, so see you soon, and I will let you know and post my completed drawing as well. Bye bye.